Hi everyone, this is Madison DeCambra. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to try something that's a little bit different than I've done before. So I present to you my new series, Calm the F Down. In this series, I want to present you DIYs on calming, helpful, anxiety-relieving projects, and I want to present them to you in a calming manner. Hopefully, this will help you to have a little bit less anxiety, even if it only lasts for a little while. So this episode's craft is going to be a DIY sensory bottle. If you know much about sensory bottles, they're very helpful for children that are on the spectrum or children that are special needs. It helps the brain kind of refocus their energy on the glitter that's falling in the bottle and does a really good job of kind of resetting the brain. When I read about that, I immediately considered the fact that I personally suffer from really heavy anxiety sometimes. And if it could help somebody to be able to reset their brain and calm down, that might also be really beneficial to an adult with an anxiety disorder. It's really easy to get a hold of the supplies and to be able to make these yourself at home. So for this craft, the supplies that you're going to need to have is a bottle of some sort. Some people use mason jars or different types of water bottles. One thing to take into consideration is that a plastic jar or a plastic bottle won't break as easily as a glass one. So if you're going to give your sensory jar to somebody who's a little bit younger, it's definitely smart to make sure it's not going to break if it gets dropped. The other thing is that I'm going to be doing all of my measurements based on my personal preferences for how I want the glitter to fall, as well as my size of bottle. So once you have a basic idea of what you're going to do with your particular jar, you can change up the way that I do it as many ways as you would like to. Tonight, my sensory jar is going to be based off of mermaids. I personally really like mermaids, and I think that my daughter is going to enjoy it as well. The materials that I'll be using tonight will be my jar that I've chosen, clear glue. You can also use clear glitter glue, but it is a little bit difficult. Food coloring or watercolors. I have small flake glitter, large flake glitter, and glitter pieces, as well as a whisk and a measuring cup. All of these things will be utilized in making my mermaid jar, but you can definitely switch up what type of glitter or what type of toys that you want to put in your sensory jar. All right, let's get started. So I decided, because my measuring cup is pretty small, that I was going to get a separate container to mix everything into. You're welcome to mix everything in your measuring cup, but just because mine was small, I wanted to make sure I had adequate space for mixing. I started with 1 cup of water, and then I put it in the microwave for about 2 minutes. The idea is that you want it to be really, really hot so that when the glue mixes in, it doesn't get all sticky and chunky. You want everything to blend really smoothly. So first you're going to take your glue, and we're going to use about half of the glue container. Now mine is 9 fluid ounces, so that gives you a little bit of a reference point, but you also need to keep in mind that the slower the glitter goes, the more glue is in it, and the faster the glitter goes, the more water is in it. So keep that in mind as you're mixing up your sensory jar, that it's really going to be individualized to what your needs are and what you want out of it. Next, I'm going to transfer my mixed glue and water into the measuring cup so that I can easily pour it back into my water bottle. So I went ahead and I chose the glitters that I would like to use in my sensory bottle. Of course, by now I assume you would have chosen yours. It took me a lot longer to do so than I thought it would. So I'm going to go ahead and add the glitter in it. I want to prioritize the greens and the purples. I'm going to add in a little bit of iridescent white shimmer as well. Next, I'm going to go ahead and stick the big chunks in there just to make sure that I have all the room that I need for them. Next, I'm going to add my chunkier glitter. Unfortunately, I don't have green chunky glitter, so we're just going to make do with what I do have. So the next thing that I'm going to do is, since I left a little bit of space here, I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on it and just give it a really good shake. At this point, you're going to want to take a look and see how your glitter is falling and whether or not you need to add more glue or more water. For me, I want the heavy glitter to fall just a little bit slower, so I'm going to go ahead and put more clear glue in to make that happen. It's smart to make sure that no matter what, you have an excess amount of glue, so it's probably good to get either a larger bottle or a secondary bottle just to make sure that you're not going to run out before you're happy with the results. The last and final step for what's going to go inside of your sensory bottle is going to be food coloring. Because I'm doing a mermaid sensory bottle, I'm going to do a sort of teal or aquamarine color. Now you want to be really light on your food coloring because the darker that the water ends up being, the hotter it's going to be to see your glitter. So I'm going to go ahead and try and do 2 drops of blue and 1 drop of green. Now go ahead and give it another good shake. And you're done, just like that. I think that turned out really well. I'm actually really happy with it. Unfortunately, sometimes with that really chunky glitter, it doesn't seem to stay up super well, but I still love how it looks anyways. Now, of course, this is a completely optional step, but for these 2 that I made in the past, I did paint the lids. Unfortunately, I used acrylic paint and I didn't seal them, so they definitely have started chipping away and wearing off. But I think for this one, I'm going to paint it and seal it before it does the same thing. And that's completely up to you. I just wanted my lids to actually match the bottle that I had created and the theme that I put in behind it. But that is definitely not something that you are required to do. Okay, that is the end of our sensory bottle project. I hope that it was not as hard as it seemed when we first got started, and I hope that you ended up with a really cool sensory bottle. The idea behind this now is obviously to give it a good shake whenever you're feeling stressed, and you just kind of set it down or you hold it and look at it and watch the glitter just fall, and it gives you such a calming and centered feeling. I don't know, I always really liked these, especially as a kid. If you remember having those little wands that were clear that had the glitter that went back and forth. It's kind of a similar concept to that. Thank you for watching my tutorial, and I really hope that you managed to calm the F down, because you probably need to. Thank you so much to my patrons and my supporters. I really appreciate everything that you guys do for me. I hope that you enjoy the direction that I'm heading with my YouTube content, and I look forward to making more for you. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever it is that your little heart desires. I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day, and let me know what you want to see next time. Bye!